Very good morning. You're watching Public Rise at 9 with me, Suesha Samth, and our top focus through this morning. Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi in just a short while from now, and the focus will be on that mega $5 billion S-400 missile defense deal that India is set to sign with Russia. The meet also signifies the importance of India's historical ties with Russia, that India is going ahead with the deal despite US and China keeping a very close eye on all the developments that will take place today. Russian President Vladimir Putin will also interact with students a little later in the day, and a long day planned until he leaves for Russia at about 5:40 p.m. in this evening. But the agenda primarily will be on several issues that will revolve around defense, counter-terrorism, Iran crisis, nuclear energy, economy, and much more. Remember, also through the day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin will also put out a joint statement, but all eyes primarily on whether India and Russia, through this bilateral, will be able to ink that crucial S-400 deal, which is being considered extremely important from the point of view of national security and how it will strengthen defense for India. Remember, China and US are keeping a very close eye on Putin's visit, and a long day planned ahead as we continue to keep you ahead on all the details that is coming in. At 11 a.m., Putin will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Hyderabad House. Half an hour from then, of course, India and Russia will be holding high delegation level talks, post which they will also be signing nearly 20 MOUs and joint statements will be released in the afternoon at about 2:30 p.m. Vladimir Putin is also set to interact with students, post which at about 3:30 p.m. both the leaders will be addressing the India-Russia Business Summit. And to give us all the details on this, a senior associate editor who is tracking all the details on this is joining us on the phone line. Aditya, a very crucial day. All eyes on whether India and Russia will be able to ink that very important S-400 deal. What's planned through the day?
Well, yes, Suesha, it's an important day in the ties of India and Russia, the age-old ties that many have been talking about. But yes, all eyes are also on the S-400, air defense deal, the Triumph deal, that has met several hurdles. And one of the hurdles still that remains is, of course, the U.S. sanctions on the big, major Russian defense biggies. The question right now is that will that deal really sail through? A very senior Russian aide of Kremlin had told the TASS news agency just 2 days ago that Putin will oversee the finalization of the deal, and it will certainly be signed this afternoon in New Delhi. So yes, all eyes are on that. And apart from that, there will be 20 other pacts that will be signed on economy, on space, on, of course, nuclear power sharing as well, and different other measures because of the cultural ties, the historical ties that India and Russia has had. US perhaps will understand. And there is a measure of presidential waiver that is there in the United States. Although these sanctions have been adopted by the U.S. Congress, there is a certain hope that presidential waiver will be specially made in case of India, as Mike Pompeo had also suggested during his recent visit to India, that they understand the traditional and the historical ties between India and Russia. And India and U.S. relations are independent and certainly very different from other relationships. So one is that. And secondly, there are many events that are lined up this early afternoon, before afternoon. At around 11, Prime Minister will be meeting Russian President Putin, and thereafter they will be signing of agreements and press statements around 1:30. And two other events, significant events, would be, as you were mentioning, Suesha, he'll be, of course, interacting with some talented children here in New Delhi. And finally, the India-Russia Business Summit. Already, Russia Expo Center has been having a major event since yesterday here in New Delhi that will be, in fact, spoken about and, of course, addressed by both these leaders. And finally, Russian president will be calling on President Ramnath Kovind as well. So it does seem win-win situation for India and Russia if this deal certainly will sail through, but all eyes on Hyderabad House in the national capital, where around 1:30 both these leaders will come in front of the media and perhaps sign this historic S-400 air defense missile triumph deal.
And of course, Aditya, we trust you to keep us ahead on all the developments that will come in through the day. Thank you for joining us for now.